Well, this particular young Lego gentleman looks like he needs a new ride, don't you think? Here's Mr. Lego Man in his trendy station wagon. Now, what do you do when all the kids go off to school? Well, certainly you don't want to be seen driving a dadmobile anymore, right? No, it's time for something sporty. So here we have our Legotown Porsche, as we call it. We consider it a Porsche. It could be either a 911 or a Boxster, depending on how you look at it. It is a traditional 4-stud wide minifig scale vehicle. It is shorter than a regular Lego car, and to show you that, so you can see if they were in traffic together that these cars would be definitely not the same size. I think that the Porsche is almost the size of about 2/3 of a regular car, and certainly it is quite a bit lower if we bring it in there. But that's what a sports car is supposed to be, kind of an impractical, small little toy. So this is the car we will build today, and once you get kind of a look at it, first of all I want to point out some of the special pieces that it takes to build this car. You will need some of these wheels. They come from the Lego Racers sets. I think you can find them still for sale in a lot of stores nowadays. There are some of these great pieces, and I'm not really sure where you would find them if you don't already have them. Sorry about that. They were in a lot of sets. A lot of Star Wars sets have them. The other unique piece to this car is this rear fender piece, which is also from Lego Racers pieces. I wish it went all the way to the taillight. It doesn't, but for our purposes it kind of works. And that's it. The rest of it's really fairly standard parts. Having said that, let's take a look at a couple of the reasons why we call it a Porsche. Granted, it's not an exact model. None of Lego's cars done in this size are going to be exact models. But it is inspired by Porsche, and as an example, you can see the low windshield, the sloped hood. I'm not sure how well that comes across, but with the headlights sticking out farther than the hood, you kind of get that sort of traditional Porsche, look with the fender sticking higher up than the hood. Maybe you can see a little bit better in that angle. I don't know. So it's sort of Porsche-like in the front. Of course, the general size of the car is a little sports car, so that kind of helps. This could either be a 911 or a Boxster. I like to think of it as a Boxster. Tyler likes to think of it as a 911. But it's clear that the engine's in the back. We can see the grates there, and of course it has one big exhaust pipe in the middle that comes out. And we tried to sort of mimic those 911 rear sloped taillights by, or the curve of the 911 and Boxster back ends by having the taillight go into the fender, and with this roll bar right behind the driver's head. I think the overall effect is about as Porsche-like as you can get with this size vehicle. I mean, it's no less a Porsche than this is a custom cruiser station wagon. I mean, you kind of go with what you got. But this is a fairly decent minifig-sized Porsche, and this guy's happy about it. To start, here's your basic chassis. This is a short chassis. It's a standard Lego chassis. You can find it in all kinds of sets. Those racer wheels are put on, and then we've added the 1x3s here for the door sills. That's the basic start to it. To start the nose, you need just that. That's it. Just a 2x2. And that snaps right on just like that. To build the back is fairly simple too. We're going to start with these two pieces, and I know they're hard to see. It is a bracket piece with a round 1x1 round kind of stuck right in it. Now when you put that in there, it's almost impossible to get that back out again, so just be forewarned that this is kind of going to be like this forever. You can get it out, it's just very difficult. Now that has to fasten onto something, and the back end is basically one of these bumper pieces. It's the same piece that we use on the front of our police cars. If you look at the other tutorials, and these are fairly common. So that snaps on the back end, just like that. And then we're going to hook on the exhaust pipe just by taking that bracket and putting it smack dab in the middle. Let's put it this way so that the mold line is pointed down. For now we're going to angle it down because we have to put the back end, the engine pieces on. We're going to roll this off to the side so you can see better what we're doing with the back. This is that racer piece I was telling you about. It is a little bit harder to come by than most, and it's basically a mud guard is how you might see it referred to. And we're going to add a 2x2 right to the bottom just to raise it up a little bit. And so that's how that part gets started. Next thing we'll need is the roll bar. Now I've added a 1x2 to it, which is hard to get out right now, so you'll have to take my word for it. But so you put a 1x2 black piece on the bottom of that roll bar, and that's really all you need for that. And I can go ahead and fasten that on. Now that goes on the high side of that fender piece. Okay, so it goes on the upper end of it because we want the car to slope to the back. Next is just a bracket piece, standard like you'd use it on the front bumper of a car or on the back, and Lego uses these for a lot of their sets. And I've already put the taillights on here, so you can kind of see what it looks like that way. And we're going to put that onto there just like that. Okay. I didn't take this completely apart because it's a little tricky, but basically you're going to take these 1x1s. You can use black ones, you can use chrome ones, you can use whatever you want. We use these slightly shiny gray ones because I thought they looked more like an engine, and they're attached to a black 1x2 grill piece. Where's my focus? There we go. You see that? And that just goes on right between the taillights. Just like that. Okay? And that's mostly the back. Oh, except for, that's right, those grill pieces. These are the ones that are available on most of the Star Wars sets and things like that. A lot of people don't know what to do with them, so they're fairly easy to find. And this is the entire back assembly, and it really is all one piece like that. And well, since we have it, let's go ahead and put it on the car. And all it does is hop right on just like that, and we'll push the exhaust pipe kind of up into that upward pointing position, and that's the entire back half of the car. So now we're going to do the front. Okay, to do the front, we're going to move this car again off to the side here so we can focus on what we're doing. This is a 1x4 piece, and it has the headlight pieces on there already, and which just, you can make them yellow headlights if you want to have a French Porsche. You can use the clear ones, which is what we did here, or anything you want really. But that's the basic beginning of the nose there. The next sub-assembly we're going to bring in is this one. It's a actually take this off. It's a 2x3, and what I'm putting on it is this wedge piece, which is a 1x2 wedge. For a while we used two 1x1s because they were all we had, and then we ended up with this piece from somewhere, and so now it's one piece. So that just goes onto the end like that, and it's going to be the beginning of our hood. So we'll snap that on there just like that. And then this just drops right on the nose like so. And that is the beginning of that part. Okay, to do the rest of the bodywork is pretty easy. We start with one of these old fender pieces, and we've all seen these. This is just your basic fender piece, and it's going to go up here. And then this is a 1x2 tile piece, and that's going to sit here right behind the hood to kind of finish off that, or right behind that slope piece to kind of finish off that front hood area. Got to steer it with something. Regular old steering wheel. Gonna need some doors. Put on some doors. We happen to have two doors on this car. Sometimes we only use driver's side doors because Lego cars only seat one person. And the only thing missing after that is the windshield. This windshield's a little bit flatter than a regular Lego windshield, and it's one stud longer. So it's a 3x2 windshield. You'll see that it is shorter, and it is one stud longer. It's 3 deep instead of 2. So that kind of gives it that sporty profile. And then all you need is some happy dad who's got his kids in college now. He can finally have his Porsche to zip around town and get some speeding tickets. And that's it. That's how you build the Legotown Porsche. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.